What is up, everybody? It's Zay here. Today I'm gonna be reading um, Official's book, part two. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Um, just jump right into it. Get some water. Make sure you guys have some water. Make sure you guys hydrate. I have worked about an hour. Anyways, chapter three, the call. I don't have my remote for my phone on. While I'm doing this, Official put like some random gameplay of us playing together, or some random edit of us playing together, or some shit. All right, come back. Oh, got lock in real quick. Chapter 3, The Call. Rain drenched Jude's hoodie as he trudged home, his exhaustion heavy and his phone buzzing and in his pocket. And silently in his pocket. He ignored it until he collapsed on the couch, letting the day weight settle in. It had been a few weeks since Donovan's party, and he hadn't seen Cora in days. That distance only made him more restless, especially since Cora and Dennis had grown closer over the past week. Jude tried to dismiss it as paranoia, but jealousy had a way of fest- feast- festering left unchecked. The shift at the Bubba shop had been longer than usual, and Dennis was off at some high powered meeting, leaving Jude alone with his thoughts. His eyes drifted towards his electric guitar, leaning against the wall. He hadn't played in weeks. It was tempting to lose himself in the familiar notes, but his phone buzzed again, pulling him back. The number was unfamiliar, but something about it felt uncomfortably familiar. But then came a second voicemail. Hey Jude, it's Dad. The sound of his father's voice hit him like a punch to the gut. The weight of the silence still pressed on him, but this time there's no hesitation. He answered the call. Jude. His father's voice was rough, tinged with something like guilt, but more distant than Jude remembered. It didn't carry the same anger as before, but there was something almost pleading in it. Jude, listen, I know it's been a while. I don't really have anyone else to turn to right now. Jude stayed silent, unsure of what to say. His chest tightened. He had his own problems, his own mess. But now, his father who had left him, cut him off, couldn't even bother to care, was back. I hate to do this, but I'm in a tight spot. Things are rough, you know? I don't know what else to ask. Who else to ask? His father continued, voice quieter, almost ashamed. I need money. It's a couple hundred. Pay you back when I get paid. I swear. But right now, I don't have a choice. I don't know what else to do, Jude. You're the only one left. Jude could hear this my bad, sorry. I just hate when I mess up on easy ass words when I read every day. I mean, I don't read out loud. I mean, I'm sorry. Whoever reads, okay, a little side rant. Who reads out loud? I'm sorry. I mean, like I'm being no respect to my AW teachers, but me personally, I don't be reading my book out loud, but in my head, and it easily sound on your head. Anyways, could hear the desperation in his father's voice. A stark contrast to the man who had thrown him out, the man who never looked back. Drew's throat tightened, his mind racing. He knew what this was. His dad's world was falling apart, and now he needed someone to hold it together for him. I've messed up, kid. I've screwed up, and I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I don't know where else to go. His father's words trailed off, the silence between them heavy with regrets, with guilt. Jude's mind was a blur. He wanted to scream, tell him to go to hell, to make him feel how much his actions had hurt him. But instead, he acted silent, letting his father speak, feeling the old ache settle in his chest like it always had. The loneliness, the anger, the delusionment. all swirling into one tight knot. Every word that followed only twisted the knife deeper. Apologies that felt too late. Excuses that felt hollow. And a request for money that turned his shimmering frustration into boiling rage. Jude's face stayed stoic and empty. His eyebrows sunk while his eyes stayed the same. His nostrils flared as he felt the depthness of his own tears covered his skin. He felt it was hard to breathe and didn't know if he even wanted to at the moment. Without thinking, Jude hurled his phone across the room. It hit the wall with a loud crack before clattering to the floor, the sound echoing into the empty house. He clenched his fists, his breath coming in short, sharp bursts. Why now? He spat. Why the fuck now? The anger surged, unstoppable. Before he could stop himself, his fists collided with the wall, the sharp pain barely registered as he pulled back. Staring at the crack in the plaster, his chest heaved, and suddenly the weight of it all came crashing down. Jude sank to his knees, tears spilling over despite his attempts to hold them back. It wasn't just anger anymore, it was grief, loneliness, and a deep agony ache he couldn't quite name. An hour later, Jude awoke on the floor, groggy and disoriented. His hands throbbed, and as he tried to push himself up, a sharp pain shot through his wrist. Cursing under his breath, he stumbled to the dentist's closet and tried to patch himself up. 1 second. Okay, audio recording. Gotta check. Luis cut that out. Put picture of a Gotham or something. Okay, cut that out too. Oh, he's fine. He's not watching this anyways. Anyways, entering for anything to patch himself up. The makeshift sling he fashioned did little to ease the pain, and by the time he made it back to the couch, exhaustion overtook him. As he lay on the couch, a million thoughts were running through his head. Where was Cora? Where was Dennis? Why did his dad call him to bed for money? I think he meant beg. I'll be you wanna put it at Pause. No, he was a prostitute. Romance Okay, I'm sorry. I come off guard. Oh fuck. Where was that again? What's happening? Okay. Beg for money. Okay, I'm done. It was back character. Okay, done. This night. Anyways, side note. He's new to the book, so I mean, if this video ever is popular, I doubt. But I mean, just in case he's, I mean, you guys probably noticed that he's new to making a book, so don't be too harsh. His night was filled with immense confusion and mental finger pointing. That damned old man! I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him. Okay, sorry, that came out hard. The smell of something warm and savory stirred him from sleep. His eyes fluttered open, red and itchy, and for a moment he was disoriented. You awake yet? Or do I need to reheat your noodles for the 16th time? Cora? Jude sat up too quickly. Jude sat up too quickly, whistling as he jolted his injured hand. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought I was Dennis. My bad. I mean Dan. Yeah, that was Dennis. My bad. Okay, that wasn't. That was okay. Oh, ignore that. I don't make. I can't make a female voice. I'm sorry. I can't make a female voice. I'm sorry. You can I can't make a female voice. I'm sorry. I don't have a female voice actor. You know, gift you get for free. Cora, Jude sat up too quickly. Whistling as he also his injured hand. Shit. How'd you get here? She laughed slightly, a sound that instantly eased tension in his chest. Dennis told yeah, I can't. Dennis told me where the spare keys was. No, don't do. Okay, I'm done. I can't. I literally can't. I'm sorry. This week for free. I can't do a real voice. I'm sorry. My voice is too. Yeah. She laughed slightly. A sound that intentionally eased the tension in his chest. Dennis told me where the spare key was. I tried calling, but when you didn't answer, I got worried, and so did he. Hope you don't mind. Instantly, Jude felt guilt for being jealous, but it was soon forgotten as the memory of that last night rolled in his mind. She looked so effortlessly put together, standing in Dennis' living room like she belonged there, and her green eyes sparkled with a mix of concern and amusement. And Jude couldn't help but feel both grateful and unworthy of her kindness. I made you noodles, she said, gesturing toward the steaming bowl on the counter. He stared at her for a moment, taking the small, thoughtful gesture. To anyone else, it might have seemed insignificant. Insignificant. Damn. Cut that out. And official. Anyways. But to him, it was everything. You've been hanging out with Dennis a lot lately. Hold up. You've been hanging out with a. Oh, I need water. Fucking put a water break on screen, like a 5 second timer. Official, thank you. Or put like that not thing that you always do whenever I tell you to add something, you don't do it. Or put like I don't know, put like a random ass idea like off Homelander like doing something weird, but not too weird. I don't know. Do you love me? Oh, I'm not muted. Wait, am I muted? Cut that out too. Anyways, alright, I'm back. Some more water. Make sure you guys drink water. Put a water sound effect or something. That's so official even edits any of this. Just doesn't like. Anyways, yeah. Fish my bro for real. Anyways, you know this a lot lately. He said in low. Oh, wait, what? Insignificant, but to him it was everything. Insignificant, but to him it was everything. Okay, that's right. You've been hanging out with Dennis a lot lately. He said in a low. Okay, you've been hanging out. You've been hanging out with Dennis a lot lately. He said in a low, keep his voice. Yeah, he made his voice low. Wait, you mean she? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we got the boys out. We got help the bro. Help the bro out. I didn't mean she, but it's fine. He's so new. He's so new. Because like he's only talking to the girl because the girl's not here. I mean, Dennis is not here right now. So, anyways, she admitted her voice low, right? Sorry, I'm a little bit. Yeah, okay. He's definitely talking to her. I think he just put T in there twice when she. Okay, make sure. Cora sat cross-legged on the floor in front of him, pulling out a first aid kit from her bag. You carry that thing with you? He said. He asked. watching as she expertly cleaned and rewrapped his hand. Nurse assistant, she replied with a small shrug. How? Okay, side note. Maybe you reveal it later on, but how old are these characters? Side note, I just know like how old their age is. Usually that's shown in like the beginning of it, like whenever you know like introduce a character or whatever. But that's up to you. Reduce like you can say that anytime you want. But I'm guessing like probably like 18 or 19 or teens or something like that around there. At least how they're talking, etc. But her assistant, so it's like I'm saying like 18 or 20, right? 20-ish, right? Yeah, right? Okay. Nurse assistant, she replied with a small shrug. Her touch was careful, almost tender as she worked. Pause. Jude felt a sorry, my bad. Jude felt the lump to form in his throat. Wait, okay. But he swallowed it down. Why did you hurt yourself? She asked softly but firmly. My dad called, he said. I need to get like a Jude voice. My dad called, man. No, no, that's not like Jude. Jude sounds like I don't know, some kind of like a nerd kind of. My dad called. That sounds more like Jude. He said after a long pause. It brought back a lot of shit. She didn't press for details, just nodded as if she understood more than he expected. When she finished, she sat back, looking at him with an expression so warm and sincere it made his chest ache. Well, whatever he said, whatever he made you feel, it's not who you are, she said firmly. You're better than that. Jude stared at her, his heart pounding. How could someone so small, so seemingly ordinary, make him feel like this? Like he wasn't broken beyond repair. Why the hell is she so nice? If only she knew what type of person I really am. She'd run away like everyone else. Although I don't like being alone. Thanks, he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. Cora smiled awkwardly, trying to ease the situation. Bears can be rough, sometimes. Rough doesn't begin to cover it. G shook his head. My mom ditched when I was 6. He almost hesitated to tell her, but at the same time, she was the only one he wanted sympathy from. Cora gasped, someone almost hitting her first aid. I'm so sorry. Dude looked up, her with solemn eye. Sorry, my cousin has texted me. Continuing. Man, what? Man, fish cut this. I'm gonna cut. Fish cut this. Hey, fish cut this out. Cut this out. Damn. Oh, he's on. Of course, he's playing fucking Dragon Ball Spark. Is he recording? Any hard message? Nigga, this weird ass nigga. Weird, like I'm reading. Look. Ew. That'd be Sean, by the way. Put that out. Put like some random gameplay on put the Z pose when I arc my back and like whenever a song hits. Sean's texting me so he said you want to build a snowman. I wish I could show you guys his messages. Corey get nigga's so random. Nigga's so random. Like this nigga's so fucking. I guess somehow what I was saying here today. I'm so sorry. Then she show up drunk every now and then, acting like she was mom of the year. My dad, forget it. He only noticed me when something pissed him off. We couldn't even sit in the same room without him finding a reason to yell. Oh, my bad. None of these. Okay, I read that wrong. Cora frowned. That sounds fucking awful. It was, Andrew said, his voice bitter. Even after all that crap, I kept thinking if I could just be good enough. He stopped being so. He stopped, letting the sentence hang. His fists clenched as he forced himself to not only think about it, but talk about it. There's already a huge step for him. You still do, don't you? Cora asked. No, she already see him to know the answer. Dude started to cry without facial emotion. No, I don't need jack shit from him. Sorry, I got being carried. He said, looking warning, hollowing into his wrist. Certainly not now. Cora hung him in that instant, crying with him as their bodies collided. Two souls brought together in the morning. It was the most beautiful thing Jude has ever seen. Cora had understood him for the most part. He wasn't trying to let anyone in. That was his problem. Pulling back slightly, Cora wiped a stray of tear from his cheek and looked at Jude with a soft expression. I can imagine what you've been through, Jude. Said quietly, her voice steady but full empty. I mean, my dad's not perfect, but he's the only family I have left. I know he cares about me, even if we don't always get along. But I want you to know that even if you don't have parents, love, you're not alone. You got me and Dennis. Jude hugged her the best his wrist would allow. Then said, then. Sorry, that shit got me off. That's that. Okay. No, no, hey, it's okay. We all make miss. So we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. My nigga, my nigga. I'm trying to. How do I screenshot again? I forgot. How do I forget already? That's not it. How do I forget the screenshot? Buddy? Sorry, my IQ's are one right now. I'm trying to. Oh my! If I did that one more time, I'm gonna crash out. It's just supposed to be. Oh, bro, I'm trying to highlight it. Damn. This right here. Okay, buddy, I'm gonna crash out. Hard to mind, bro. I'm really, I'm 8 years old. Okay, buddy. I was trying to help you out, but all right. Well, okay. Well, for whenever you add this, this right here, uh, been said. Thanks, instead of ask. Yeah, I think you messed up here. If only my computer wasn't being buggy right now, I'd send this to you. But right now it's won't be doing anything. So what the fuck? No, I don't want voice actors. Damn. Okay. Anyway, cut that out. But yeah, that part right there, just fix that when you can. Maybe you put like an ad of you fixing it or something. I don't know. And then said thanks. You're welcome. And Dennis, is she really still thinking about him? Is your wait what? So I guess bro's jealous. Okay. Did your father even really seem sorry? Cora asks at the second Jude's entire mental narrative changed, all because of what she had just said. I remember a night where his father was leaving his house and caught the attention of Jude. The house was quieter than usual. I got what he said. The house was quieter than usual. Tension hanging in the air that Jude couldn't shake off. His father was pacing back and forth in the kitchen, his jacket draped over his arm. It wasn't unusual for his dad to go away for a bit, and he'd done it before. He needed a break, a chance to clear his head. But this time felt different. This time, Jude could see something in his father's eyes, something broken. Dad? Jude's voice was small, almost hesitant as he stood in the doorway, unsure of what he was supposed to say or feel. His father froze for a moment, eyes meeting his son. His face was drawn, other than it should have been for someone who haven't yet reached his 40s. His shoulders sagged as if his weight was as if the weight of everything they'd been through was finally too much. He ran a hand through his hair, looking at Jude as he were the only thing that mattered. Fuck. His his father's voice cracked just a little, and Jude noticed how his father's face was covered in shame and regret. Where are you going? Jude asked, his heart pounding in his chest as he gripped to the frame of the hallway. Um, I'm I'm just going to go away for a bit. I'm just going to get away for a bit. His father's words were careful, almost apologetic, but they didn't sound quite right. I'll be back in the morning. Jude and mind raced, memories floating in, everything that had been wrong in their lives, the constant moving, the strain, sounds. The strained silence, his father growing anger, his inability to hold the family together. Jude's father had never been great at expressing his feelings. He didn't show emotion unless it was to shout or retreat. But tonight, Jude saw something different. Dad, please. Jude's voice wavered. Are you leaving for good? His father winced at the question, as if the very idea hurt him more than it hurt Jude. No, I'm not leaving for good, Jude. He swallowed hard, setting the jacket down on the table. There was a long pause before he looked up. He looked up, locking eyes with Jude. I need some space. I've been carrying too much for too long, and I'm not doing it right. I know I haven't been a good father. Hell, I ain't even a good person. God has every right to strike me down in this instant. He started. He started. But he's not like you. His father used to have a strong connection with God. He had blamed everyone in his life for his problems, including Jude. God, even his ex-wife. If I'm supposed to be like his son and how I act, he let the tear run from his eye. The temptation of leaving for good was creeping up on him. I reckon I better stay too. And with what? And with that, he closed the door, leaving for the rest of the night because of problems. But that was the issue. I feel like Jude was just another problem for him. At least he didn't leave like everyone else, but in the way he did. His father that night had bought a ticket earlier. They took it out. He prays and he thought of escape he could muster, not thinking about Jude as his son, but as a problem. The real problem was mental, not being able to love your own child due to the fact that you can't love yourself. He would always project his image on his son, sing a version of him he would damn to hell if he had the chance. Jude's chest tightened. Yes, as the words his father had never apologized before. Not like this. His father had never shown this much vulnerability, and it hit Jude harder than he expected. The harshness, the anger, the neglect, it all made sense now. His father had been pushing away because he didn't care. He'd been drowning, suffocating under the weight of everything he couldn't control, and he was finally admitting it. This memory had been buried under all the hate of the years to come. It took Cord to ask that question, as he never dared to. For him to realize that he was becoming his own father. Jude opened his mouth to say something, but his throat closed up. His father stepped forward, resting a hand on Jude's shoulder, his fingers trembling slightly. Jude stood frozen, staring at his father. His mind was swirling. The anger, the frustration, the years of feeling abandoned, it all started to unravel. He couldn't fully understand everything his father was saying, but he could feel the raw honesty in it. His father was broken, trying to piece himself back together, even if he didn't have the answers yet. The apology, sincerity in his father's voice hit him harder than he never could imagine. His father wasn't perfect, and he might never be, but for the first time, Jude could see that he was truly sorry. Maybe that was enough for now. Her question echoed in Jude's mind. Did your father ever really seem sorry? The answer came to him without hesitation this time. His father had been sorry, not for the things he has done, but for the person he had become. And though he wasn't perfect, Jude now understood that his father might have tried. It wasn't easy to forgive, but it wasn't impossible. Either Jude had been carrying his father's mistake for so long that he had lost sight of the fact that his father had made him too. And for the first time, he let go of some of that same weight, of that weight. Not all, but a little. Cora watched him carefully, trying to make sense of his pain. She didn't fully understand Jude's anger toward his father, but she knew it ran deep. Still, she had to say something. I'm really sorry to hear all that, Jude. So, okay, pause. Side note. I'm guessing. Okay, so Jude was still in the house. Okay. So, pause real quick. Side note. Ooh. Okay, my few questions is if my boy Jude is at Dennis house, whatever bro name is. right? How did his dad find where my boy was at? Unless like I guess his dad always knew where Jonas is at, whatever. Because you said that Jude was always having a hard time finding a place to live, etc. So he moved in with Dennis, whatever. So how did Dennis knew where? I mean, how did Jade's dad knew where Jade was? You know what I'm saying? Like at his friend's house. I mean, I guess they probably like called I guess you can like, off screen. I guess you can call it off. But I say no. Never mind. That was just a second thought. Corey, that's all because I was thinking about like how Cora's there, but she was there in the house, and Jude's dad walked in into Dennis' house, and yeah, I think Dennis's name, whatever his name is. Corey didn't say it, but she knew she had to be more. There had to be more to a story. She was sympathetic, catalyzed for Jude, but things weren't quite adding up. He went through a lot, but her voice softened as though she were treading carefully, unsure of how to push him without making things worse. Aren't you holding onto it still? All this hate, this resentment? I don't know what to sound rude, but she trod off the weight of her words hanging in the air between them. Jude looked up at her, his face tightening, but there was a flicker of hesitation in his eyes. Cora wasn't backing down, though. She wasn't about to let him off the hook. I mean, you can't keep carrying this around, Jude. It's not really him anymore, it's you. Jude's heart clenched, the words stinging more than he cared to admit, but even in the sting, he couldn't deny the truth in them. He still didn't have all the answers. He was just a lost kid, still trying to make sense of everything. It was Jude's fault. Not even partly, almost fully. The past was the past. He was only hurting himself by holding on to it. I just, I don't want to let go, Jude muttered, his voice barely a whisper now. I guess I want to hold on to it. Cora gave him a small, almost sad smile. I know, but you're holding yourself back. You're letting that anger control you instead of moving forward. Juice sat back, the weight of it all pressing down on his mind, a tangled mess. He didn't want to hear it, but he knew she was right. Deep down, he knew that. You won't know if things will be different unless you try, Jude. It's like the shitty makeshift sling you made. You try to repair something and it won't always work. Cora said gently, her eyes filled with understanding. I know it's hard, but sometimes you take a chance. Even if it feels like it might not change anything. You won't find out until you make the move. Sorry, this chapter is like damn, my bad. This chapter's long as hell though. Nigga made that by paragraph essay, nigga. My bad. W, but like, the chapter's always this long. Respectfully, couldn't probably made this into like 5 other chapters. I'm joking, but like, actually, no, not. Later, later that night, after Cora left, Jude was left alone with his thoughts. What a drastic change. For years, he'd been at odds with his father, each encounter feeling like a battle. A constant reminder of how broken their relationship was, and now, out of nowhere, a girl had to come into his life, offering something he never thought he'd experience. Understanding care and a chance for something different. He sat there in the dim light of his room, the weight of the evening conversation pressing on his chest. He spent so long pushing people away, convinced that love or connection was a lie. But Cora, she was different. Her words stuck with him, echoing in his mind. She cared. She saw him. And for the first time, it felt like maybe there was a chance to change, to heal, to be seen for who he truly was. This is some product of his broken past. Jude rubbed his face, trying to push the emotions back down, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't ignore the feeling of something cracking open inside him, something he hadn't let anyone near in years. He signed and finally gave up. He saw his guitar from across the room and decided to head out into the streets. Maybe he could make money as a street musician, though the chances felt slim. Despite doubting himself, he decided to take Cora's advice this time. What was his chance? Aspen at night was a quiet contrast to the bustling energy of the day. The air was crisp, carrying a chill that hinted at the approaching winter. Snow, still fresh from an earlier flurry, blanketed. the streets in soft layers, glistening under the faint street lights that cast long shadows along the sidewalks. The town's signature charm remained in full swing, with small boutiques and upscale restaurants glowing warmingly through their windows. The faint sound of laughter and soft music drifted out from the bars and the cafes, but everything felt distant and muted as the night settled in. Jude walked through the empty streets with his guitar case slung over his shoulder, the soft thud of his boot the only sound breaking the silence. He didn't mind the solitude. It gave him space to breathe, to think. His guitar felt heavy in his hands, a familiar weight he clung to, the string almost calling him. He sat down near someone's stand and began to play the songs he remembered. People soon gathered around when they heard that sweet sounds, wondering who the strange man was. Even though Aspirin was a small town, almost no one recognized him. A familiar face appeared. Sir! Oh, I'm sorry. I've never read this book before, like at all. I predict it was old man. I don't know how. I just like it. I'm locked in. That's how locked in I am. Sir, sir! A familiar voice called from the crowd. Jude glanced up, blinking confusion, as an older man stumbled toward them with two young adults in tow. It's me, the old man you donated to at the party a few weeks ago. The man approached, beaming with excitement. These are my children. The ones that said I'd visit with the money you gave me? He gestured proudly at the two beside him. I was planning to take a flight that night and arrive by morning, but they decided to come visit me instead. Hotels and flights aren't cheap, you know. The man pulled a folded wad of cash from his pocket and extended it toward Jude. So, here's your money back. After I told them what you did, they insisted we find to thank you. The man's son nodded, his smile warm and sincere. We were so lucky to find you on a random night like this. I don't have a kid voice. I'm sorry. Hold up. we were so we were so what? I can't do. we were so lucky. I can't. I'm gonna try. we were so lucky to find you on a random night like this. Your kindness made the real possible, and we'll never forget it, Mister. You should add Mister there. I'm just saying. hey, hey. I swear I'll find some way to repay you. The old man said, his voice trembling with emotion, tears welling in his eyes. Jude rubbed the back of his neck, suddenly feeling self-conscious. My bad. Sorry, my eyebrows came out for a second. I just wanted to say thanks, but I'm actually going to use this money to help my dad. He said, his voice low and groggy from exhaustion. He's living in Gary, and things have been getting pretty bad for him. The man's daughter stepped forward, her expression earnest. Family is the most important thing in life. Sorry, she said. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for my dad's hard work and dedication. Don't ever lose sight of that, mister. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, official. I want to see that edit. Hey, I want to see the edit of you putting Mister at that. I'm just saying. Hey, okay, my bad. You don't care. Okay, yeah, and you probably put like no right there. Okay. Jude nodded slowly, her words hitting him like a weight in his chest. Edu ekukika butita buta naku ni sama sota buta da boka na zamo tito. A dull ache grew in his heart as he packed up his guitar in the park. I need it. My bad. I'm sorry. No, I need to stop. I need to stop. I'm sorry. I have work in 10 minutes. I'm losing my shit. I'm trying to like not rush this, but like I have a little bit left to go. Put his guitar. His hand shook slightly. He put the case shut. Thanks, he mumbled. He mumbled. See, like you read too long, you start with your shit. He mumbled, shaking hands with the family before saying his goodbyes. As he turned to leave, his thoughts drifted to Dennis. Neither of them had text for 2 days, and a pang of worry crept in. Slinging the guitar case over his shoulder, Jude started the walk home, feeling the night's cold seep into his bones. Okay, another thing. Don't they see each other because they live together in Dennis' house? Hello? I'm just saying, like, well, okay, it's fine. I'm just letting you know. A little criticism, like, Don't they see each other because they live at each other's same house? I mean, unless bro just has like a job where he works like all day or something. But yeah. Speaking of the targets over his shoulder, Drew started to walk home feeling a nice cold sleep to his bones. Now that he was thinking about it, Jude had never met Marcy. He hadn't seen her at a party or heard of her at all now. He often thought about how he made Dennis feel around others. Was it an embarrassment to see him in public? Is that why Dennis never introduced him? They met her. On Marcy's like, oh, no, okay, that was my fault. My bad. Or was she just not in his field of view that night? The silence stretched on as Jude stood there, letting himself feel every ounce of the exhaustion that had built up. His light flickered faintly, but all he could focus on was emptiness around him. Jude shrugged home, his hoodie still damp from the rain, and his mind immense of emotions that clung to him, like the wet fabric clung to his skin. His wrists throbbed, still wrapped poorly in the market shit's link he had fashioned earlier, but it was the least of his concerns. He didn't know what he was feeling. Anger? Sadness? Confusion? They all swirled together in a haze of exhaustion. The day had been a blur, and the weight of everything from his father's call to his own internal struggle sat heavy on his chest. When he walked through the door, he was surprised by the quiet. The apartment was darker than usual, a few street lights flickering through the window, casting shadows along the floor. He let out a long breath, taking in the stillness before heading toward the couch. But then he froze. Cora was asleep on his couch. She curled up on the warm cushions, her shoes newly placed beside her, a soft blanket draped across her lap. Even asleep, there was something about her presence that made the room feel less cold, less empty. All he could do was admire her beauty and the things she has done prior. While he felt like he knew a lot about her, he wished he could know more. He wished he could see into the window of her heart and yearned to understand his feeling better. Hey, Jude, Cora simply said. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of crazy. Also, that coming from. You said the back of the alarm, not saying anything. Was she awake? Was she sleepwalking? That's what I'm saying. She's in her hand to him with her eyes so closed. Jude was shocked. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't. I'm not. I'm joking. I would never do that. You know, that should come up guard. Jude was shocked. He almost didn't want to. But you don't like her or anything. But he had no idea what she would do. What does she mean? He thought as he paused there still. He slowly extended his hands towards hers, and instantly she grabbed it firmly. Judy didn't know what to do, as they didn't even know what was happening. Cora just laid there, hand holding his hand, not making a move. Jude's heart raced as her fingers tightened around his. Her grip wasn't forceful, but it was deliberate, like she'd been waiting for this moment. Even in sleep, he stared at their jointed hand, sure if he should pull away to stay frozen in place. Cora, he whispered hesitantly, his voice barely audible over the hum of the heater in the quiet room. Why is she here again? I saw her leave. She didn't answer. Her breathing was slow and steady. Her lips slightly parted as she slipped deeper into slumber. You could feel the faint warmth around her palm against his, then a strained mix of comfort and confusion through him. Drew let out a shaky breath, his mind spinning the question he couldn't answer. She looked so peaceful, so like holding his hand was the most natural thing in the world. For her, maybe it was. For him, I felt like the ground beneath his feet was shifting, trying to pull him under. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. Eventually, her grip loosened, her hand slipped from his as she shifted slightly, nestling deeper into the couch. Jude stood there for a moment longer, staring at her, trying to make sense of what just happened. He lay on the floor next to the couch. There she was, peacefully sleeping, and noticed a letter on the coffee table, pulling out his phone. He saw no text, no notification, except one. A single voice message. It was from no number he'd seen earlier. As he tapped it and played it quietly in his ear, a familiar voice greeted him. I'm guessing it's Dennis. I'm gonna guess it's Dennis. Jude, sorry. I've been really busy lately, and to be honest, I've missed your company. Days with my dad have been complicated. I've been worried about his shipment of medications and not reviving. I really worry about him, man. You should put man there. I'm just saying. You kind of like a broski. Kind of like a broski voice. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, since I'll never have another dad, sorry for oversharing. What I meant is, let me know when we can hang out. Bye. He smiled, hearing this, and pounded on the little. Just then, pondered on it a little. Just then, he remembered the note he had found. He had shone his light over and read in the dark. Dear Jude. Okay, I don't know. It's Dear Jude. Sometimes it's hard for me to express how I really feel. I'm proud of you, though, and proud of the decision you made. Thank you for the ink was smudged, and you couldn't read it. Thank you for what? He was rolling the note close to his face. Thank you for spending time with me. Of course, that's surprising, Jude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, you can't be scary like that. Why are you over my shoulder reading my message, my nigga? I'm sorry. Like, damn. Literally, I'm sorry. Me in person, I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. Nothing against you, but if you're gonna read, like, come behind me and start whispering, like, just take, put like some scary music or something, and all you hear is, "Thank you for spending time with me." Over your ear while you're reading, you're telling me I can go like that? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. You can't be doing that, my nigga. Damn. Anyways, my bad. For surprising Jude. Jude looked over at her slowly. When I was little, I had no friends, like at all. I must spent my childhood indoors. She then rolled over to look at Jude. My dad was my only friend. And she laughed it off a little and smiled at him. Not anymore, though, huh? Jude just smiled and closed his eyes, lying back into Dennis' warm carpet. Oh, yeah, she continued. I locked myself out of my house. Jude laughed out loudly, sharply at the situation. Is your dad going to be okay? Corey had already thought about that. Nothing I can do right now, but I'm going to need help getting back inside. First thing tomorrow, if you please. Jay repositioned himself on the floor and shut his eyes. What a lot to think about. He was glad that Corey trusted him a little bit more now and would worry about the rest tomorrow. Okay, my only criticism, there's about two spelling errors. You wrote me a 5-page government essay, basically like, okay, you don't need to try. They can be this only could have been 2 chapters itself. Like this shit took me 30 minutes to read, which is good. It's not shit by the way. I'm just mean shit as in this thing. This thing took me 30 minutes to read. It's not bad. You should be like cut like go like halfway through and cut that into another chapter and fix those 2 spelling mistakes. And there's like another 2 other things. That's it though. That's not bad. It's still good though. I like the story so far. Nothing crazy is happening. I gotta get ready for work. I didn't expect to read this chapter for like 30 minutes, but but yeah. Um, hey, also, hey, official, I'll cut this out. If you guys want to sub to me, I'm just saying, put a random clip right here or something official. I don't know, some content, I guess. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get 500 subs. When I come back from basic training, I really appreciate it. I don't know when today's gonna be released. The date of this is 1/10, so probably it'll probably release next week when I'm gone. So yeah, yeah, official stuff. Some few clips up here. Maybe that interest them more. Also, if you guys are interested and women to read your books. Hey, hey, I don't. Hey, you trying to start a book? I'll go ahead and read it. I don't care. I'm not famous. I mean, I'll respond. I have no. I'm not that busy yet. So, you got like a book or something you want to do? Just put it in the YouTube comments. Be like, hey, I write books. I would like for you to read it, and go ahead and DM me on Discord, and send me the chapters or whatever, and I'll go ahead and I'll make a video about it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, W. You don't even have to sub. It's not even a thing. I'm not making you do. I just want to do it for fun. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. So free of charge, of course. I'm not going to obviously charge you to read a book when I'm not even famous, but I only have 400 stuff. Anyways, you guys have a good day. I don't usually say this, but like the video if you guys want to. Get more of this stuff into people's for you page. Their whatever their stuff. Anyways, um, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. If not, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Either way, I appreciate it. That's about it. I'll see ya. Put some random ass outro official. I don't know. I don't have an outro yet. That one with like the pew pew pew, whatever. I guess put that cringe shit on here. Anyways.